There we have it, DD Speed Shop 57 Chevy inside the Montana garage. This is day 2. I got the car yesterday. I drove it a couple miles from the truck stop where I picked it up. Everything seemed fine-ish. Got home and was messing with it a little bit, having some problems with starting the car. And then also, once I did have it running a little bit and found the temperature gauge inside the Fitech screen, it was getting a little hot. So I'll show you a couple things that I picked up on right away that I'm going to kind of address today. So once she cooled down, I popped the old radiator cap off, and guess you can't see in there, but I noticed why it's getting hot. There's no fluid I can see in there, so hopefully it didn't get too hot when I was driving it home from the truck stop. There is a mechanical temperature gauge in the car, and it was reading about 180, and I was like, oh, I should be good to go. Well, that mechanical temperature gauge, let's see, where did it go? Was laying like this. So that's the sender. And so it was like 180 right there. I don't know how hot it was inside. Obviously we've gotten hot because some of this wiring protection is melted. Now I don't know if that's from when I drove it home, because I didn't even pop the hood, because I was dealing with the truck driver and he was wanting to get going and everything. So I don't know if this is from when I drove it or if it had gotten hot before, but there's some melted stuff back there too. So hopefully she didn't get too hot. So we got to put some fluid in her today, some antifreeze, water. And then the Fitech, it's weird, it'll start 3 or 4 times, and then it will, like, you turn the key and it'll start, but it won't run. Like, it'll fire and then just die right away. And at first I thought it was like a wiring thing, like the start circuit was wired right, but the run circuit wasn't, kind of deal. But the more I did it, I can kind of get it to, once in a while it'll kind of almost die, but then fight its way through if I'm playing with the gas pedal a little bit. So I think it's just kind of like flooding or bogging itself out. So I did some Fitech research last night. I'm gonna just reset everything back to 0, because it said it could have learned, some things trying to compensate for how it's been running before. So I'm going to set everything back to 0, start over, and hope that solves the problem. So I've gone through some settings on the little Fitech control pad here. I reset it back to factory. I re-entered all the engine specs. I did get it running, and I set up this little idle steps thing and got the little idle adjustment on the throttle body set to where it's supposed to be, I believe. But it's still doing the fire but no start thing. So let's check it out. Turn the key on, you get a little fuel pump, clickety clackety. And then see, it fires, but it just won't run. Oh, hey, you guys are lucky you ran that time. Let's see what it's telling us it's doing. So you saw me get it running. I've had it running for a little bit. I had messed with some settings on the little computer. Shut it off and started it maybe 7 or 8 times. And then just all of a sudden it goes back to doing this. Or it'll fire but not run. So I can't figure out why it's working and then not working. Like I said, I made some setting adjustments, but I didn't change anything. I just was like moving the idle up and down a little bit and stuff. I didn't change anything that would cause this that I know of. So it's like, it's weird. It works 5 or 6 times and then it doesn't work for a while. So trying to figure that out. 57 Chevy update time. I think I'm getting some stuff figured out. Let's see what happens if I turn the old key here. Look at there. So there's a, I don't even know what it is. There's a white wire. That's like not a constant 12, but a switch 12 volts to the Fitech. It was wired, it says wired to switch. It was wired to the fuse block to to a switched spot on the fuse box, and so it was right in that, you know, it was off. There was 0, and on it was at 12 volts, but under cranking it was dropping down to like 9. So I don't know, some sort of resistance or something in there, and I believe that was causing my no start issue, because since right now I have it hooked directly to the battery, which isn't probably, I can't leave it like that because I gotta have it switched, but since I've done that, it fires up every time. So I gotta find a new way to wire that 12 volt wire. We'll see what I come up with. Well, look at there, this whole thing's costing me money already. Just had to go grab a couple little things, trying to find a better spot to hook up the constant 12 volt for the Fitech, and I was messing with the resistor block, and it's 800 years old, I'm sure, and so that kind of broke on me. Tried to grab one of those, grabbed a couple other wire ends so I can put something together a little differently, and one of the little vacuum hoses was pretty much melted, so I grabbed a little vacuum hose. I think I'm going to wire the 12 volts to the top of the resistor block. It's the closest. Every place I find that has cranking, 12 volts at cranking, you know, it drops while it's cranking, you know, down to either 11 or 9 or even, oh hey Moose, coming to check it out? Even more depending on where we go. So this seems to drop the least. So I'm going to try putting it there. I temporarily hooked it there and it worked. So that's where I'm going to go with it for now. I'm eventually going to probably rewire, you know, a lot of this stuff, but I'm just trying to get it kind of going for now so I can take her for a cruise and check stuff out. So let's put her back together and see what happens. Shop inspector. What do you think, Moose? Something new to climb on. Going in deep. What do you see? Get a cat's eye view. All right, let's get to work. All right, so it's been a little over a week since I got the DD Speed Shop 57 Chevy, and I haven't really had time to do much of anything with it. I've had to work every single day. I took a day off the day it got delivered, but I've worked every day since then. I'm just kind of up against a deadline at work, doing a big project. Maybe I'll throw in some pictures here of the things I've been doing there with my tile job there. But anyways, it's kept me out of the Montana garage, and I have not messed with the DD Speed Shop 57 Chevy. So I had today off, and the last 2 days we've had the stinking white stuff. It's finally a little nicer out right now. It's still pretty cool, but it quit snowing early this morning, and it's warm enough that the stuff is actually melting, but we had close to 5 inches. And then today I spent the first part of the day working on the square body, because we recently redid the clutch in there, and that's the fun part about doing stuff yourself, is especially if you're like me, you're a little bit of an idiot and you screw something up and then you get to do it a second time. So we got it fixed right this time. Truck's back together. So now I'm gonna pull the old DD Speed Shop 57 Chevy into the shop and do just a little bit of messing around on that. So let's get the rest of this white stuff off of here. Most of it's already came off. If you saw my Instagram post with all the snow on it yesterday morning. But yeah, we had about 5 inches or so. So anyways, let me get this snow off here, and then we'll see if it'll fire up and pull her into the shop. I've always heard not to eat yellow snow. I'm guessing that goes for pink snow off your 57 Chevy also. Probably don't eat that. All right, so there we have it. Got most of the white stuff off of it. Wish I would have done that earlier today so it could have dried off a little better, but well, let's see, shoot today. Yeah, I did the window. It's just got a little condensation on her, whatever. So, all right. Said I haven't messed with this much since the day I got it. I had to do a little bit of wiring to get the Fitech to work right. The battery seemed like it might be a little weak, so it's been sitting out here for a week in the cold without being started. So you guys will find out, just like I will, if it's going to start or if we're going to have to mess with anything. So let's see what happens here. Fuel pump's clickety clacking, so we know we got some battery. Look at there. So one of the things I'm going to work on today is I got no oil pressure gauge. The line's not hooked up. So anyways, she fired up, so we're going to take it in the shop here. I was going to maybe go for a little drive, but let's see. Oh! We got no wipers. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, super slow wipers. These are vacuum operated, so I'll have to see. I'm not building that vacuum or there's a leak or something somewhere. I'm gonna go get a rag and we'll wipe the windshield off, and maybe we'll go around the block before we pull in the shop. All right, we got her fired up. Go for a quick little run around the block here. I don't have power steering, obviously. No, I don't have license or registration on this thing yet. Still waiting on some paperwork from when I crossed the border, so just go for a quick little neighborhood cruise, make sure everything's still working okay. Got some stuff on the gauges there. I know I said a couple times that once I got it, there'd be some, you know, smoky burnout type videos, but to be honest with you, I don't know if it's the Fitech not being adjusted right. That's some of the stuff I got to work on, but this thing won't do a burnout right now. It kind of falls on its face when you give her too much juice, so we got to get that straightened out. See that? Just a big old bog is what you get, and it ain't super warm. It's only 114 right now, so it has to warm up, but even when it's warm, that's what it does. I tried to power brake it the other day and just kind of dies. Or didn't die, but it wants to die. So I don't know, this thing should have a little more power than that, so I'm assuming it has something to do with the Fitech. See if I can't get that figured out. Here's a running bandit. It drives pretty nice though, really, for an old car. I mean, it seems like it goes pretty straight. Brakes are, you know, they're not great, but they're there. One plug the other day and I was messing with it and it was pretty sooted up. I don't know if Dan had put new plugs in it. I'm assuming he did, but I know it was running pretty poorly when the sobering guys first had it, and I don't know if it kind of was flooding itself out and fouled those plugs out. And then yeah, I think one spark plug wire was kind of riding against the header, so it might need replaced. It might be, you know, shorting out or something right there. So just some little stuff like that I got to look into, see if we can't make it run a little better. Yeah, it's just not running super great for sure. So yeah, the problem is seeing if I'm smart enough to figure out why. Guess we'll find out. All right, meet you back at the shop.